Hey YouTube, James here. Coming at you guys a little different. I'm actually using my phone on this because I really wanted to provide you guys an update with all the new stuff I've done to my tank this week. There's a lot going on here, so let me take you guys into what's going on. Well, the other day, probably a couple days ago, we got hit with a pretty nasty storm, which knocked power out to my building for probably an hour and a half or so. Now, normally I'm not concerned when I lose power because normally it comes on maybe 5 minutes max, but like I said, hour and a half to 2 hours I was down this time. Now I'm seeing a lot of people post about these battery backups for aquariums, and then they just don't seem to provide the backup that I really thought they should. Now, thinking about it, like the one I looked at, I forget the model it was, but it could run power heads, but when it was on battery, it drops them down to 50% power use. And the unit was small, which was nice, small, compact, but again, didn't provide what I really was looking for. So I have a UPS on my entertainment system, which when I lose power will run my cable modem and my router. So I would have internet during the outage. Like I said, normally 5 minutes max on my issue. Now, seeing how with self-service, all these stuff, 10 gigs now, data plans, all that stuff, I really wasn't concerned about my internet speed for my phone and stuff because I don't use much data as is on the cell network. So I yanked my UPS and installed it on my aquarium. So as you can see here, just a simple cyber power UPS. 8 ports, where 4 of them are battery, 4 of them are surge protector. Now, yes, this unit is bigger than a one of those battery backups for aquariums, but not only does it provide power during a power failure, but it also cleans power. Now, during electricity, there's 30 power. It's not constant same flow coming in. Sometimes it's greater, sometimes it's weaker, and that's bad for electronics, especially computers, anything with motor, stuff like that. Having that fluctuation is pretty bad. So this UPS, what it does, besides being a battery backup, it also cleans that power. It'll take that wide range of electricity coming in, clean it up, and send a consistent flow out to the devices. Now, I hooked this up during the storm, which gave me 88 to 90 minutes of running on battery, full power, my 2 Jabo power heads. So I don't have anything else plugged into the battery. Sorry, I'm incorrect on that. I do have my Raspberry Pi plugged in as well, but that doesn't draw much battery. So I can run full speed, the Raspberry Pi and the 2 power heads for 88 to 90 minutes on battery. I would assume this is better than those aquarium backups they have. So if you guys are looking for something for your system, looking in the electronics department like a Best Buy, Staples, Walmart, over by the computers, and look for something called a UPS, universal power supply, or uninterrupted power supply. Those kind of things that you should look into. You can get them all on Newegg and sites like that as well. So that was the one thing I had. As you can also see there, I have a power strip connected to that. This power strip is sole purpose is a timer power strip, which I'll get into later. Now, this weekend, was Reef-A-Palozza in northern New Jersey. Now that's about a 2-hour drive for me. So I went there. I picked up a Kelsey A150W deep ocean blue light. I only picked up one this time because I really wasn't going there to pick up light. I was going there just to enjoy the event and look around. And I saw a couple frags I wanted, all that stuff, but I noticed every frag tank had some kind of Kelsey light running. And I've been looking to upgrade my LED to provide better coral growth. Now, I didn't want to totally pull out this LED. I actually do like it. I think it's a nice unit. It just, of course, not designed for all corals, only SPSs. So now I picked up the one light and hoping that it might provide that extra lighting for my tank. As you guys can see, one side of the tank is very bright, the other side is dimmer. So my game plan is to actually get another one of these units. But one of the things I like about these units is how you can mount them. You can mount them on this gooseneck sold separately, or you can mount them from a beam or something going across from ceiling. They give you a couple of different mounting options. I of course went with the gooseneck, as you guys can see here. And one thing I like about the gooseneck is it clamps onto the tank, so this thing's on there pretty good, ain't falling down. Some modification I had to do was cut the cover in the back there so the clamp could go on the tank without the cover popping up. Now, another thing I got, let's see if I can find them. There he is I finally got my fire shrimp. Now, I've been wanting a fire shrimp for a while, and I keep looking at them at the live fish store, but the guy wants $45 for them, and I'd rather drop $45 or more on another fish or a coral or something. So I got a fire shrimp at the Reef-A-Palozza because they only want $25 for them, so I couldn't pass that up. One thing I forgot to mention is, I don't know if you guys can see in this video, but my zooanthus are really popping. Now, I have been dosing, so I'm sure that's contributing to their growth and their color pop, but so is the lighting. Alright, let me go back to this timer. The one thing I don't like about this light unit, which again is not a deal breaker, is, hold on guys, I apologize if the video flipped during recording. I'm not sure what happened there, but as I say, one thing I don't like about this model lighting, I know the newer and more expensive units have the option, but this is not controllable. I can't set it time on, time off, can't dim it, and as I said, we plug in, it goes. So what I did was I had this timer power strip sitting around, so I'm using that just to run this light. Now when I get my second one, it'll run both of them. The way I have it programmed right now is the Kelsey light will only come on when my LED is on the blue cycle. So at 9 a.m. my LEDs turn on and go for a half hour warm-up. So they go like 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. is blue lights with a half hour of a sunrise. So at 9:30 it starts getting brighter in my tank, and at 10 o'clock the whites are on. So I have this guy turn on at 9:05 and goes off a little before 10 o'clock, like 9:45 or so. I would go off. And then at 6:30 my LEDs start doing the sunset, and at 7 it's on the blue lights, and at 7 this guy comes on and he'll go into 10:40 p.m. and then my LED goes till 11 p.m. and then at 11 p.m. all my lights are off. So that's the light schedule I'm going currently with this. I might change it up. I was thinking of running it during the whites as well, but I didn't like the looks of it. So maybe when I add the other unit and get the balance out, maybe the light will look better, but I wasn't liking the light. So that was the only con I had with it, was not being able to control it, where my current USA orbit one is programmed. I have it come on at a certain time, goes off a certain time, percentage wise, all that stuff. But another positive to this light is look at that ocean shimmer that this light gives. It provides a really nice effect to the water. So I'm really liking that. I can't wait till I get another unit to see what this tank really looks like under those lights. Now, one thing is, now I'm not concerned about what corals I get. I can focus on taking care of the corals. I think these lights will provide the growth I need light wise, and I can focus on getting the chemicals in there and all the water parameters balanced. So I think the next coral I'm going to pick up is a bird's nest and get them somewhere on there. Not quite sure where on my tank I want them. Some places I was thinking of is right around here, or maybe over on this rock somewhere, or even this ledge right here. But I'll have to do some more research, reading up and finding out about the bird's nest, the water flow and all that stuff before I really determine where I'm going to put them. Now, my star polyps, I'm not quite sure how they're doing. They're not opening up like they used to, but like I said, I'm going to play the waiting game with them. Now, I'm sure you guys have noticed there is some two different things in my tank now, besides the fire shrimp and the light, is my rock work is different. And also, I have a powder brown tank. But you guys don't see my yellow tank. Well, what happened was I went to my live fish store to get some more snails, and as I was walking around live fish store, I walked by the tank that had this fish in it, and he followed me around, and that was really nice to be able to walk back and forth from the tank, and he went side to side wherever I was. And then but I came across a really small, about the size of my clownfish, a blue tang. I wanted to put a blue tang in here. I was concerned about the size, but I figured that small, it can grow, and once they got to a certain size, I can take them back to the store. But as I got talking to the store clerk, and I told him I had a yellow tang, he's like, you might want to be careful with that. They can get territorial. Normally you should put the yellow tang in last, and go from things like that. And we both, after talking, were concerned the size of the blue tang, so we didn't want to risk putting him in this tank and having attack the blue tang. I did tell him I had a quarantine tank set up, so he's like, if all else fails, take the yellow guy out, put him in the quarantine tank. So he's like, but maybe due to the size, maybe look at a different tank, like one of these powder browns or one of the other ones he had. So again, I went right back to his tank this guy was in. He followed me around. I saw he was a good size for this tank, so I was like, you know what, let me take him. So I took him, brought him back, put him in after acclimating him, and right away Yellow Tang was not happy. Started attacking him. Not only did he get territorial with the powder tang and getting very aggressive with him, he started attacking my other fish with the flame angel, the clowns, and the damsels, which they all been living in peace until then. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the yellow guy out, put him in my quarantine tank, go from there. That turned into a nightmare. I ended up pulling out almost all my rock just to get the yellow tang out. I finally was able to get him. He's in the quarantine. He's settling in there. I'll keep him in there for a week, I think, and then bring him back. Now, yes, the powder tang and him might fight, but I think that with them both settling in, they'd be better. I didn't want the powder brown tang to go through too much stress of a new home and then getting bullied by the yellow tang. So I was like, yeah, I can't have this. I want to try to lessen his stress. So that's why I took the yellow guy out and not play the waiting game with, see if they calm down with each other. So after the week, I'll probably let them sit in the tank together and see how that goes. Let them kind of fight each other, not too violently, but let them feel each other out, get their own territorial, their own space, and go from there. But like I said, that's my update this week. But I was at Reef-A-Palozza. It was a great event. Can't wait to go again. I got to meet the guys from Tanked, Wade and Brett. They're good, great guys. I got a picture taken with them, and Reef-A-Palozza was fun. I definitely can't wait to next year to go to another event like that. The prices there was some really cheap frags. Again, I probably went crazy if I didn't buy the light, but I think the light was the key investment that allowed me to not limit what corals I put in this tank. So besides those major changes to my tank, I've also been working on my control system. I added a section for dosing, so whenever I dose my tank, I log down what I'm dosing and how much. So this week I actually did dosing with the calcium, lithium, and magnesium to try to bring everything up so they can support all the corals, and see how that goes and see everything. Also, I forgot to mention is it's hard to tell in this video because of the blue lights and stuff, but my brown algae is basically gone. In the same bed I have very little brown algae that I'm sure my snails will take care of, and then I just have the rock here that's pretty covered, but again my snails will handle that, and this rock up here has some coverage on it. Again, my snails will handle that. So it took a while, but my tank is finally getting rid of brown algae and just settling into its new habitat. Also this week I did test again with the API and the Red Sea. Now the calcium on the Red Sea was different than the API, but was very close, not off by a lot. And same with the carbon hardness. They again was the Red Sea was a little higher, but the key thing I discover, again might just be my test tubes I have, is the 5 milliliter line is not accurate. I took the Red Sea plunger that you use to fill up the containers, and I brought that to the 5 milliliter mark and put in the test tubes, and the water line was above the 5 milliliter line. Now this happened in all the test tubes, but what was weird about it is a couple of the test tubes, they were at closer to the line than some of the others, so it's like a line wasn't even level 5 milliliters across all of them, but the majority of them were the same distance between the top of the water and the line. There was only one or two that was closer to the top of the water and the line than the others. So, and again, like I said, I used the syringe, pulled in the 5 milliliters, and put in the test tubes. So that might be why a lot of people's results are getting way off with the API, is they're not truly having 5 milliliters in there. Or again, the syringe could be wrong. But I'm gonna continue testing both until I'm satisfied that the numbers are definitely different and all that stuff. So like the first week I tested, the calcium was dead on each other. This one, they were very close. I think my API came out like 340 and the Red Sea came out 440, and oh no, it was 340, sorry, and Red Sea came at 350. So see how that goes, moves up. I'll continue testing with both of them. Alright guys, sorry to keep you so long. I might add some pictures of that I got from Reef-A-Palozza on this video as well. You'll see them scroll through. And again, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. Thank you.